careful and watch out for and not let that happen here as we go into the second half. Got to keep that pressure on.
One of the other things they're not going to be happy with is only shooting 37% from the free throw line in that first half.
Yeah.
Didn't make too many trips to the free throw, 3 for 8, but that's one thing I know Coach Stuck will not be happy with, and they will work on next week. Busy week next week. Not going to be a whole lot of practice time for the Lady Men and Indians. 3 games next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Friday.
There'll be a lot of basketball next week and the week after with Sub-State. We'll be looking forward to that, too.
Yeah, the week after is not Sub-State.
Okay, 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. You're right.
Go ahead of yourself. 6:26 left to go here in halftime. Mike will have the full first half stats right after this next 2-minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to our St. Paul Tire and Lube halftime show. Mike, what do you got for first half stats?
Well, first half for St. Paul, you mentioned a few of the percentages. I'll go over those real quick here. From outside the three-point line, they were 2 of 8, only shooting 25% from outside, and that's kind of uncharacteristic of some of the outside shooters that St. Paul can usually count on. Some of that also had to do with a little bit of the playing time where they did quite a bit of substituting, but still 25%, only 2 of 8 from outside three-point land. Inside there in the 2-point field goal range, they were 14 of 28 for 44%, 3 of 8 for free throws at 37%, and only committed 4 turnovers. Turnovers really the big difference in the first half, and I'll talk about that more in a minute. But as far as individual stats, Taylor Watrick with 2 points in the first half for the Lady Indians. They were led by Caitlin O'Brien, who had 13, so double-digit numbers by Caitlin. Had a couple outside shots for 3-pointers, ended up with 13 in the first half. Sydney McCracken, Emily Hutcherson both had 6, as well as Emily Winter and Katie Coombs, who had 4 apiece, and Sydney Rice and, like I mentioned, Taylor Watrick, both with 2 in the first half. On the other side of the table for Altoona Midway, all 4 points in the first half scored by number 33, Natalie Davis, the 5'7" freshman. Turnovers, the biggest difference, Altoona Midway had 24 turnovers in the first half, so really struggling against that man defense that St. Paul runs so well, and that's really showed up in the turnover difference. Now, another thing to be concerned with, maybe if you're Altoona, we go into the second half, is Sophia Willard and Anna Pierce, the freshman and a junior, both have 3 fouls. So with the lack of depth, only 1 player on the bench for Altoona Midway, that could loom large for them here as we go into the second half with 3 fouls apiece for those 2 young ladies, and so they'll really have to watch what they're doing.
7%.
That's what I said, wasn't it?
No, you said 2 for 8 for 27%. You sticking to that?
Okay.
Sydney McCracken was 2 for 2% overall. There's nothing wrong with that. And shooting in the first half, just want to clean up them free throws a little bit. So all in all, pretty good first half put together by the Lady Indians. We're going to take one more minute break. We'll be back with our second. Welcome back to our second half. Just started with possession of the basketball.
Dan, I got to admit, I double-checked my math while we were on the break, and sure enough, you were right. They had three three-point shots, and Emily Hutcherson had one, made her total for the first dead bank shot.
All that shows up is 3 for 3 from three-point land is all it shows as right now. She is shooting 100%, so she ups that total. Williams with the basketball, tied up by Watrick. Jump ball possession arrow stays with the Jets. Williams set to put the ball in play for the Jets. She feeds it in to Pierce. Pierce guarded by McCracken. Feed to Williams, who's left wide open. Luckily, she misses it. Rice got lost a little bit, lost Williams. Williams left open, but off a low bounce pass, went out of bounds. McCracken now a little 15-footer blocked. Williams comes back down with the Jets. 6:33 left to go in the third. 43-4, Lady Indians lead. Screen set by Pierce. Back up top. To the left now. Watrick with the steal. Crosses over, loses it. Off of McCracken, back to her. 20-footer, no good. Long rebound, chased down by Williams. Good hustle by her, and it's off. And Indians with the basketball. It's going to be a foul on the Jets. Excuse me there, trying to find my paper I was looking for. And Watrick set to put the ball in play. That foul is going to be on number 40, Anna Pierce. The foul, O'Brien. Now another three-pointer by McCracken. Long this time. Winner with the rebound. Put back, no good. Davis comes down with it. Gets tied up with Winner. About got her arm caught in a bad position there. Winner got her kind of hung up in between trying to get it. It's a jump ball. Possession arrow goes to the Lady Indians. Watrick with the basketball. Under her own rim, feeds it into O'Brien. Layup good. Good inbound play, good pass. O'Brien scores. 13 in the first half. Brings her up to 15. Caitlin O'Brien needs to have a good run down the stretch. She is knocking on the door of 1,000 points on the season. Has a chance at it, but it may have to go into postseason in order for her to have a chance. Not sure exactly where that total's at. I'm going to try to find that out next week.
We'll have to find that out for sure for next week.
That's quite an accomplishment for any young lady that gets close to that. Another shot by McCracken, no good. O'Brien chases it down on the rebound, feeds it to Rice and Winter. Williams with the basketball, 5:15 left to go in the third, 45-4. Lady Indians lead. Williams all the way in, boy, loses it out of bounds. Goes back to the Indians.
Williams on a drive there, just lost the handle on the ball and skipped out of bounds on her.
Now McCracken with it for the Lady Indians. Kicks it out to Watrick. She drives in the lane, kicks it over to Carter. Carter up top to Coons. Top of the key, three-pointer. Good. Nothing but net. As the Indians warming up outside Coons, that arc.
Pretty good smooth stroke from out top of the key there outside the three-point line.
She's got a pretty shot. Williams with the basketball up above the timeline. A right-handed layup, and she's fouled. Watrick could go the line to shoot two.
Foul's going to be on Williams, number 2 on her.
48-4. Lady Indians up by 44. Watrick second shot off the back rim, misses both from the free throw line, so their woes from the free throw line continue. That shooting percentage not getting any better in the second half. Williams picks up her dribble, guarded closely by Foley. You make yourself a little room. Count is on, and that's going to be a foul. No, we got 5 seconds over here.
Coach is over here trying to call timeout to the referee right behind us.
Sure. Maybe we do have a timeout. Now we're going to get together and decide. Could have been a foul on Foley. It could have been a timeout, or it could have been a 5-second call. So take your pick, folks. I think they're going to grant.
They're probably going to give them the timeout.
The lady on the opposite side, I think, was going to call a foul Foley, and it is a timeout.
Well, the coach was right here, right behind the ref, hollering at him.
30-second timeout by the Jets. We'll take a 30-second timeout. Let's St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. That timeout brought to you by St. Paul Supermarket, and a steal by McCracken on the inbounds out of the 30-second timeout. Layup, no good. Rebound, Jets. Reynolds come out there with it for the Jets. Williams back down with the basketball. 3:51 left to go here in the third. Poked away again by McCracken and knocked out of bounds, so it'll stay with the Jets. Williams with the basketball for the Jets. Feeds it into Davis. Davis stolen by McCracken. McCracken breaks away on the right-hand side, layup. Good.
Got it that time.
Back comes the Jets. They trail 50-4. All 4 points put in by Davis there in that first quarter. Maxwell with the basketball, guarded by Coons. Picks up her dribble. And she gets it off. It's off of a couple of Jets' feet. Now picked up by McCracken. McCracken all the way down in. Kicks it out to Coons. Sets her feet. Three-point shot from the baseline. No good. Chased down by Carter. Carter drives the baseline. Good crossover by Carter. Tries to put it up. Gets it blocked. Rebound. Maxwell for the Jets. Hands it off to Williams. Back down the court she comes. Crosses the timeline. Picked up by Foley.
Oh, good
Slapped
steal
away by Foley.
Foley.
Now Foley comes out of the woods. It's going to be a jump ball. Good job by Ireland Foley. Possession arrow goes to the Indians. So the young freshmen get a lot of playing time here tonight, Mike.
Yeah, she's doing a good job, too, getting some minutes out there.
That's nice.
That's
not enough girls to have a JV
right.
schedule.
Yeah,
so
it's really nice for her to get some time.
Yeah. Watry spend all them hours logging in the gym practicing. Coach Tuck always real good job about getting them in there when he can. And quite frankly, they show a lot of improvement. Foley, three-point shot.
Foley putting the three-pointer in.
And she buries it from the left wing.
Foley taking advantage of that time on the floor.
Williams back down with the basketball. Indians heating up from three-point land. Shooting percentage.
That's the third one this half they've got.
Shooting percentage maybe creeping up a little bit. Jets basketball. Feeds it into Willard. Willard ends up on the floor.
Had to be a travel.
Called with travel. Got her feet tangled up. .157 left to go in the third. 53-4. Indians lead. To the corner to Foley. Back to McCracken. McCracken up top to Carter. Back to McCracken. Now to Foley. Long three-point shot. Off this time. No good.
She wanted it, though. She's having a good time.
Gets right back down, gets down on defense, gets ready to play. That's what I like.
I know it.
Boy. Step back shot, no good by Davis.
Got her own rebound, though.
No good, too hard. Rebound Williams for the Jets. Ordered by Foley. Tries to drive the baseline. Foley gets it tangled up again. This time it's going to be Foley with the bump.
Foul, I think.
Little too much contact there. This is the first foul on the Indians in this half. With 1:17 left to go. Davis had to put the ball in play, gets it into Williams. Williams cut off the baseline, trying to find some place to go. Stolen by Carter. Carter on the breakaway. The young freshman, right-handed layup. Good! And she's fouled. You know, it's nice to see the upper class teammates get excited for their young freshmen too when they're on the floor, Mike.
Yeah, it is. That helps a lot.
It shows a lot of good team unity when they.
Yeah, good leadership too from the upper class.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They do a good job of that. Girls likewise supporting one another. You spend so much time in the gym working your tail off. You need to support one another. 1:05 left to go in the third. 56-4. Lady Indians lead. Williams with the basketball for the Jets.
been a travel there, I believe.
Things you want to work on in games like this is fundamentally sound. You want to try to remain fundamentally sound, and I know that's Coach Watrick and Coach Tuck both are going to stress here tonight. Coombs, three-point shot, right wing, way long that time, not even close, way over the rim. 56-4, Indians up by 52, 44 seconds left to go in the. Williams with basketball for the Jets. As the Jets run the weave here with 32 seconds left to go, Williams drives towards the baseline all the way in. Floater on the way, blocked by Coombs. And it's going to be, hits the baseline. It's out on the Indians. So it will stay with the Jets here with 26.3 seconds left. Into Davis. Shot from the baseline, off the front of the rim, no good. Coombs comes down with it, feeds it ahead to Carter. Carter on the breakaway, chasing by Williams. Carter's layup, good. Good job by Katie Carter as she ups her score total on the night. What is that, 2-4-5 from Carter?
Yep, 5 points for Katie Carter.
Maxwell. Shot off the buzzer, 58-4 after 3. We'll be back after this 1 minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Well, we're into the fourth quarter, Lady Indians lead 58-4. What do you think of so far, Mike?
Well, so far, it's been some good things that they've done, that's for sure. The second half, they've come out here, and the young girls have really stepped it up here, and that's what's, fun to watch.
Willard with the basketball for the Jets, guarded out there by Winter. Same 5 on the floor for the Indians. Davis into the rim, loses her footing, tries to get a shot off. Rebound, Winter. Winter feeds it ahead to McCracken. McCracken layup, no good, off the front of the rim. Carter ties up the Jets. It'll be possession arrow stays with the Indians.
Sydney McCracken really struggles with those layups sometimes, but get in some outside shots.
You need to teach her to dunk it.
She doesn't want me to teach her anything on basketball.
3-point shot by McCracken, off, long. Foley fights for the rebound. Ball's loose on the floor. Stripped away by Carter. Good job by the youngsters. Bounce pass into Coombs on the block. Layup, no good, but she's fouled. She's fouled by Davis, a 5'7" freshman.
It's going to be Davis' second foul.
3 freshmen and 2 juniors on the roster. Just 2 seniors on the roster for the Jets. So they'll have 5 of their 7 back next year. Coombs, another free throw off the mark as Caitlin O'Brien checks back into the game.
Just the first free throw that Katie Coombs has missed. She's 2 for 3 now on the free throw line.
Coombs settles in for her second. It's good. 59-4, 6:15 left to go in the game. As this quarter will move along a little faster with that 30-point lead and the continuous clock. Davis blocked by O'Brien that time. Now Carter slows the pace, feeds it to O'Brien at the top of the key over to McCracken. Foley reverses it to Carter. Carter, top of the key, reverses to McCracken. To the corner to O'Brien. Wide open, but does pass on the three. Turn around, or feeds it into Coombs. Coombs, a couple shots, can't get it to go, and she's going to tie up Maxwell, but the possession arrow points towards the Jets. 5:23 left to go in the game. 59-4, Lady Indians lead. Williams with the basketball. Ball. Possession arrow this time goes to the Lady Indians. .448 left to go in the game. 59-4. Lady Indians up by 55. O'Brien, the right wing to Carter. Thought about the three. Passed on it. Drives towards the elbow. Kicks it out to Foley. Now into O'Brien. Turnaround shot by O'Brien. Ball's loose. 2 or 3, 4 people on the floor after it. And it's going to be another jump ball.
Ended up looking like a rugby scrum out there. All of them trying to get that ball off the floor.
Where'd your road trip take you this week, Mike?
Oh, it was just down the road a ways this time, just out the Salina for a little visit.
Goodness.
Saw a little snow on the ground.
Yeah. Salina's not a bad drive.
It's
kind of a long one.
A little bit long. Could be worse.
That's about the jump ball in the last 2 minutes. McCracken feeds it back into Rice. Well, one thing to look forward to, Mike, he was gone all week on the road trip, and next week we don't have to go on a road to call game.
That's right. It's going to be pretty nice. I timed that just right, didn't I? Monday, then on Tuesday, Yates Center, or I take that back, Oswego comes to town.
20-foot jump shot by Carter, right through there, and good. And then they finish up Friday night. Yates Center comes down, so there's going to be some tough matchups there next week at home. Southern Coffee County will be in St. Paul's Substate, so I know the boys, on the boys' side with Southern County anyway, that used to be a very good setup. So if the Indians want to try to extend their season past Substate, they're going to have to get back get past Southern Coffee County, and we will go over more of that next week. If you want to get on Case's website, this year they have a new deal. You get under the athletics and under the basketball tab, they actually keep up-to-date standings from week to week to go. And I think as it's set now, the Lady Indians was a 1 seed on the girls' side, and on the boys' side, the boys was a 2 seed, I believe, behind Southern Coffee County. Crack another 3-point shot, a little bit long. Carter with the rebound, in traffic, blocked by Davis. The rebound Jets. Williams with the basketball, bounce pass into Davis. She's going to be fouled by Wattrick. 1:18 left to go in the fourth. Just the second team foul on the Indians, second on Wattrick, as Pierce checks back into the game. Into Williams, stolen by Foley. Foley down on the breakaway, right-handed layup, good! Oh,
they're going to call travel.
I thought she traveled, but nobody was calling it, and it was after she'd made the shot before they finally called it. So, no bucket by Foley. 61-6, Lady Indians lead. Williams with the basketball. 43 seconds left to go in this game. Davis feeds down low to Pierce. Turnaround shot, no good. Carter with the rebound. Carter dribbles out of traffic. Pushes the ball up. Now slows it down. 27 seconds as McCracken feeds it off to Carter. Carter up to Blair. McCracken drives in and gets bumped really hard. And that's going to be the ball game.
Yeah, they called that intentional, but I don't think it matters at this point.
Intentional foul on Pierce against McCracken. I think McCracken's going to have to shoot the free throws. Nope, that's going to be the ball game.
Yep, that's it.
Good deal. It's going to be the end of the ball game. 61-6. Lady Indians come out with a nice victory here at Altoona Midway, as we will be back after this next 2-minute timeout. This is St. Paul Indian basketball on Hot 105. Well, welcome back to our KW. Oops, oh, that was it.
Not yet.
Welcome back to our KW Trucking post-game show. Mike, what'd you have for final game stats?
Well, looking down there, I can tell you one thing, Dan. Every Lady Indian on the team had points on the board tonight, so that's something that, is definitely a plus and good for the younger players, getting a lot of playing time and taking full advantage of it by getting some points on the board. Looking down across the sheet there from outside the three-point line, St. Paul ended up being 6 of 20, shooting 30% from outside of the three-point line. Inside, they were 19 of 44, shot 39% from the field, and free throws 5 of 13, shooting 38%. I'll go down the roster here, give you the point totals for the Indians. They were led by Caitlin O'Brien, who had 15 points in the game to lead all scorers, with 11, backed up by a couple of three-pointers there. She got a little hot on outside the three-point line. Emily Hutcherson went out with that ankle injury, but not before she was able to put 9 points on the board for the Indians. Katie Coombs with 8, Katie Carter with 7, Emily Winter had 4, and Sydney Rice and Taylor Watts, but I'll go with you on that.
Sydney McCracken will beat our D-Rail Commodity Player of the Game. Started off real hot from the outside, 3 for 3 from three-point line. Kind of things out. That's why they call it an average. Ended up 3 for 7, but overall,
pretty good night of shooting.
Pretty good night of shooting put together by Rice. Pretty good night put together by the Lady Indians. Coming out with that nice victory here tonight on the road at Altoona as we get set for boys action coming up. In about 12 minutes, we'll have our Styles Fitness and More tip-off sponsors, so we'll be back with final game wrap-up after this next 2-minute timeout. We'll also roll right into the Ritchie's Pharmacy pregame show and bring you tonight's matchup between St. Paul and Altoona Midway. We'll be back after this 2-minute timeout with St. Paul Indian basketball on Hot 105. Make it a 3-minute, please.
I wonder which one of these aren't on the roster. Or
Oh, welcome back to our KW Trucking post-game show where the Lady Indians come out with a nice victory there tonight. What do you think the Lady Indians can take out of that victory here tonight, Mike?
Well, I think a few things. I think they've got some things still to clean up a little bit before they get into the rest of the season, but also one of the biggest things I think they'll take out of that is the experience that the younger girls got to play, took advantage of having a lot of time on the floor, got to take some shots, had some open looks, and were able to make a few shots, really build some confidence, and I think that's going to be one of the biggest things that they're going to take away from here tonight is they're just knowing that they can go out there if they need to, and they get in there and they can shoot, and when they do shoot that they can score, and they were having fun, and I think that's probably the big takeaway for the Lady Indians tonight.
Not a lot of free throws, but 13 free throws attempts on the night, only made 5, 37%, so they need to definitely work on that going into the future. As we roll right in, we're going to wrap our KW Trucking postgame show. We'll roll right into our Richie's Pharmacy pregame show here before the boys' action. Boys coming up tough loss there against Jayhawk Linn. Golly, we need to get the roster out. Who was the Jayhawk Linn? Boy, he lit it up. 36 points on the night. Not Daniels. Is that his last name? Anyway,
I can't remember, but
he's
you're
a
right.
heck
He
of
was
a ball
on fire.
player. He lit up the Indians. I'm sure they wasn't happy with the performance Tuesday night. They really need to try to get on a run here. Still not shooting the ball very well. That's been their Achilles heel so far, is their lack of able to connect from the outside. So we'll see if the Indians can improve on that tonight. Start building some momentum going down the stretch in a big Three Rivers League game here tonight at Altoona Midway. Roll into a busy schedule next week. Southern Coffee County comes to town on a Monday night, kind of odd. And then right back-to-back, Oswego comes to town Tuesday. And I know Yates Center boys and Southern Coffee County boys both pretty good. Yates Center boys got a good ball club, so that'll be enough tough matchup Friday night. And they'll finish up the Thursday after that with Crest at St. Paul and senior parent night.
Yeah, that's right. And one of the things that we've seen throughout the season, it seems like if the Indians are out there playing and they're having a little bit of a hard time or getting behind, or things aren't going quite their way, sometimes they let that get to them. You don't want to let that get in your head, and I think that's one of the struggles that they've had earlier in the season is that they get a little bit down. Well, early in the season in that preseason tournament they made the big comeback, but ever since then we've seen them really struggle when they're down without just being able to forget what's already happened and keep moving forward. So that'll be one of the things we'll look for tonight. If they do end up being a little bit behind or playing from behind, we'll look for some leadership out of the upperclassmen and step up there and keep your head in the game, look forward instead of look backward. If they can do that, especially as they go into the big week next week with 3 games and not let those get away from them, they're going to go into sub-state looking pretty good.
Everybody finishes their warm-ups here as Altoona went to the locker room here for a couple minutes. The Indians out shooting the basketball, finishing up their warm-ups as tonight here, Three Rivers League matchup between the Altoona Midway Jets and the St. Paul Indians. If you want to listen live, I want to thank all our sponsors for bringing us live stream this year. There's a lot of people who have enjoyed it this year, being able to pick it up. Either it's grandparents that don't live in the state or whatever it may case. We get a comment every once in a while. It sure is nice to be able to pull that up on the internet and watch. So we're really glad we're able to bring that to you this year. That'll really be handy coming down the stretch now. Just get on 1055.net.
Hot1055.net.
Hot 105. I didn't think there was a net.
Hot1055.net.
Hot1055.net.
There you
Hit
go.
on the St. Paul Indian banner, and it should take you right to the YouTube
And it
channel.
works really good because that's what I watched you and Keith on Tuesday night, and I'll tell you what, that's pretty enjoyable to sit there and watch. It's like watching on TV. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, especially if you got it hooked up to the TV. It's just like watching.
Yeah,
on
it
TV.
is. Be just like it, wouldn't it? I knew you was going to say that when I said that. I'm way in front of you. I'm getting caught up with you, buddy.
We're going to take a 2-minute time. Take a 2-minute timeout. We'll be back after this 2-minute timeout. Let's St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to our Richie's Farms pregame shows. We're getting set for our Styles Fitness More tip-off, so I'll finish up on that live stream bit. If you just click on the St. Paul Indian banner, it should say St. Paul and Altoona on the in the YouTube channel. It should say live. Just click on that. It should take you right to it. You should be able to pick it up, stream live, whether it's on your computer, your telephone, or if you got it plugged into your TV. As we get ready to go over starting lineups for each team here in tonight's second game. If you just now joined us, the Lady Indians come out with a nice victory over Altoona Midway in the first game as the boys get set to tip off. 8 minutes on the clock, so we will have your tip-off here in just a minute or two.
Yeah, it looks like the Altoona boys not going to have the depth issues like the girls had. That was another one of the struggles they had, was just having enough people, especially when they get into foul trouble there, to keep some substitutions going. But
Bourne, Albertini, and look like Grant Hutcherson.
Grant Hutcherson going to get the start tonight.
And senior. As Brendan Tuesday night with Caleb Pekka, just rebounding the heck out of basketball. He's our D-Roll commodity player of the game. That young man gives it 110% every time he takes the floor. Fowler, a 5'8" sophomore, gets the start for Altoona. Anthony Albertini, number 50, the senior, gets the start for the Indians. For the Jets, a 6'3" senior gets the start for the Jets.
Altoona's got some size on the team. It could be some size matchups. We'll watch the game underneath with Anthony Albertini and whoever he's matched up with, either Marsh or...
I think somebody might have stretched the tape measure on Roby. Maybe 6 foot. Doherty, what is Brendan Doherty? To our Richie's Pharmacy pregame show. Our title sponsor this week and every week is Farmers Bank. Joe and Josh Smith and all the ladies at the banks. As we're getting ready for the tip-off, as everybody gets a toilet ring, went round and round and round before it went through the hoop. On Hutcherson yet. The Indians missed that. Now, I'm not real sure what we're playing here. So Hutcherson settles in at the line to shoot two, just underway here in the first. Indians off to a 2-0 lead. Off the rim, no good on the first. Rebound pulled down by Carter. Meggs crosses half court, picked up out there by Bourne. Feeds it off to Marsh. Marsh to Carter. Carter guarded by Pekka. Kicks it out, three-point shot on the way off the backboard, no good. Feed ahead to Doherty. Doherty's layup good. Long full court pass from Albertini to Doherty. Doherty on the breakaway. Meggs pushes the ball up the floor. About drug his foot. Gets it, kicks it off to Carter. Carter over to Marsh. Marsh feeds it ahead of Grant Hutcherson and out of bounds as Huffman checks into the game for the Jets.
St. Paul looking just a little bit out of sync here. One of the goals I think, if I'm Coach Watrick, I look for is like to have their shooting percentage somewhere a little higher than about 35 or 40% if they can pull one off. They've had some trouble with that being so cold.
Meggs with the basketball above the timeline. Man-to-man defense applied Indians. Meggs against Bourne, drives towards the baseline, kicks it up to Roby, tipped away. Now ball's loose now. Roby comes down with it, feeds it to number 22, misses the left-hand layup. Roby with the rebound, and that's going to be a foul on Pekka, as that was Huffman who just checked into the game, missed the layup. That's going to send Roby to the line to shoot two. Caleb Pekka didn't think he had fouled him. First team foul on the night. First on the Indians, first on Caleb Pekka. Skylar Roby, the 6'3" senior, settles in at the free throw line to shoot two. First shot on its way, right in there, and good. 4-1, Indians lead. Second shot by Roby on its way, and he gets the bounce, and it goes in. 4-2, 2-point ball game. Indians lead by 2. Bourne with the basketball. Baseline jumper off the rim, no good. Caleb Pekka with the rebound, reverse layup, good. There's Pekka on that board on the rebound. Josh Meggs back down with the basketball for the Jets. gives it to Pekka. Pekka in traffic, so he sets the offense up to Doherty. Doherty at right wing. Doherty drives in, feeds it to Grant Hutcherson. Hutcherson loses it, poked away by Huffman. Gets it to Roby. Roby to Meigs. Meigs slows the pace, brings it across half court now, pushes down. Oh, too much contact. I didn't know if it was going to be Doherty stepped on the sideline or he was bumped. He was bumped. First team foul. First on Roby on the Jets. Subs come in as Marsh checks back in. Screen set by Albertini. Grant Hutcherson with the ball. Dribbles towards the elbow to Albertini. Now feeds it back to Bourne. Bourne into the lane. Out to Pekka. Three-point shot by him. Right wing. Way. Roby sets a screen. Meigs off to Huffman. Now it's fed backcourt. Pekka, Caleb Pekka going to the line to shoot two. I thought he was trying to give that ball up to Bourne. Put back, no good. Doherty with the rebound. Put back, no good, but he's fouled. Doherty settles in at the line. First one on its way and rattles in good. As Fowler checks back in, he comes in for Huffman, who is appeared to be poked in the eye. Second shot on its way by Doherty, right through there and good. 9-2. Indians up by 7. The Jets, though. It's going to be out on Carter. An ill-advised pass by Doherty. Well ahead of everybody, but Fowler bailed him out, or Carter did, and knocked it out of bounds. Doherty set to put the ball in play under the Indians' rim. Into Pekka. Reverse layup, no good. Meigs with the rebound. Meigs get past a couple Indians. Feeds it ahead to Carter. Carter tries to dish it to Roby. They lose it out of bounds off of Anthony Albertini. So it'll stay with the Indians. Here in the first, 9-2. Indians up by 7. Meigs feeds it into Roby. He's guarded by Haney as Bourne stays on Meigs. Left wing to Marsh, who's guarded by Hutcherson. Marsh looking to get rid of it. Throws it behind back.
Meigs, that's his second.
Meigs picks up his second, 15th foul on the Jets.
Braven Bourne's first trip to the free throw line tonight.
First shot on the way by Bourne is off the rim. No good. As Huffman checks in for Marsh as Meigs stays into the game with 2 fouls. Have to be careful not to pick up his third, the young point guard. Just a freshman. Bourne second free throw right through there and good. Carter with the basketball for the Jets. Feeds it to Huffman. Huffman gets around Hutcherson. Drives the baseline, tries to feed it back, and it's going to be out of bounds on the Jets and go to the Indians. Adam Albertini sets the ball in play and feeds it into Lemons now. A whistle.
I think we had an escape up in the stands there.
An errant child wanting to play a little basketball.
Can't blame him.
Get on the floor. Mama runs him down, so we're good to go now as the Indians get it inbounds. Bourne with the basketball. Feeds it to Adam Albertini. Into the lane he goes. A little floater on the way. No good. Bourne gets the rebound. Good rebound by Bourne. Feeds it back to the Lemons. Over to Hutcherson. Hutcherson to Haney. Haney looks, drives inside, feeds it to Bourne. Bourne drives inside. Floater on the way. Off the backboard. No good. Ball's loose on the floor. Chased down by the Jets. Carter feeds it ahead to Meigs. Meigs picked up by Bourne. He loses it out of bounds, and it'll go back to the Indians. As number 23, Marsh, checks back into the game for Meigs.
Altoona boys having their own struggles with the turnover bug here.
Adam Albertini feeds it into the Lemons, 10-2. Indians up by 8. Hutcherson with the ball off to Haney. Easton Dick comes to the scorer's table for the Indians. Haney dribbles top of the key. Lemons, good feed to Bourne. Off the backboard, no good, but he can go to the line to shoot 2. as the Indians still struggle with their shooting, as Bourne goes the line to shoot 2. Braven Bourne, the senior, settles in at the line. 2:10 left to go here in the first. 10-2 Indians lead. And he misses the first as Dent comes in for Hutcherson.
I think Bourne got shook up a little bit on that foul. He came out, went to him.
But there's a lot of Indian boys pretty frustrated with their shooting.
Yeah.
That gets to work on Huffman. Layup, no good. Carter set the football in play for the Jets. Feeds it in. The Roby short on the shot. It's going to be out of bounds and stay with the Indians. Braven Bourne with the basketball for the Indians. 1:46 left to go in the first. 11-2. Indians up by 9. Lemon shot from the elbow off. No good. Huffman with the rebound. Huffman picked up down here by Lemons above the timeline. That's going to be a foul on Lemons. First on him. 3rd team foul on the Indians. Couple subs come in for the Jets. Number 35 checks in Sade, a 5'10 sophomore. As well as right now it's Doherty checks back in. Doherty, Haney, Lemons, Dent, and Adam out of the rim. No good. Tapped out and out of bounds. Good hustle. And it's going to stay with the Jets. Good hustle by Huffman. Jets basketball. Carter under the rim with it. Feeds it to Huffman. Huffman guarded by Doherty. A little weave by the Jets. Fowler with the ball. Bounce pass into Huffman. He's double teamed out there. Tries to give it. Good try to. 13-2. Indians up by 11. 45 seconds left to go here in the first. Steal by Doherty. Layup good. Carter with the basketball. Feeds it back to Fowler. They need to get across half court. Doherty with the steal. Layup no good. He's going to go line and shoot 2.
That foul's going to be on Fowler.
17 foul on the Jets. 15-2. Indians up by 13. Doherty goes the line to shoot 2. Doherty's first free throw on the way and right through there and good. As Meggs checks left to go. Indians up by 15, 17-2. Carter with the basketball. Feeds it back to Huffman. Now over to Meggs. Meggs back. Quarter 17-2 after the first quarter. Indians up by 15. We'll be back after this 1 minute timeout. You're going to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Yeah, welcome back at the end of 1, 7-2. Meggs with the rebound. Blocked by Doherty, but they're going to get him for a foul, and that's going to send Meggs in line to shoot 2.
It's on Bourne.
It's on
Doherty was out front here, I think. They called the foul in her basket.
No, it was on Haney. We're both wrong.
You're right.
On Kenny Haney. Second on him. 4th team foul on Indians. Meggs' first free throw is good. as he settles in for his second. It's on its way short, no good. Hutcherson rebounds, feeds it to Doherty. Doherty pushes up, has a bounce pass into Pekka. He loses it. Carter with the steal, with it, gets it back to Meggs. Meggs picked up by Bourne. Meggs all the way in. They're going to call a foul on Huffman. Weave, now Meggs with it. Off to Fowler. Fowler gives it to Carter. Back to Huffman. Now off of Fowler's feet, but he recovers. Meggs, now the ball's on the floor again. Bourne tries to get it. Now Meggs, into the lane he goes, all the way in. Layup good, he's fouled. As Meggs go to the line, try to complete the three-point play.
That foul's on Braven Bourne. Got a little behind Meggs as he drove into the lane there. That's how he drew the foul.
17-5. Indians up by 12 as Meggs makes the free throw. 17-6, 11-point lead for the Indians. Bourne thought about the three, passed up on it, feeds it back to Pekka at the top of the key. He's guarded by Meggs, feeds it to Bourne. Man-to-man defense applied by the Jets. Doherty, good give and go from Bourne to Doherty, and he converts on the loose, and it does go out of bounds. It's off of the Jets, so it'll go back to the Indians. Doherty feeds it into Pekka. 6:22 until our St. Paul Tire and Lube halftime show. Bourne, three-point shot left wing, long, no good. Roby with the rebound for the Jets. Gets it off to Carter, who gives it up to Meggs. Meggs, top of the key, hands it to Carter. He gets around, shot on the way, no good. Huffman gets his own rebound. Good job by him, rebounding, hands it off to Fowler, who gives it to Huffman. Huffman to Carter, back to Huffman. Huffman drives the baseline, kicks it back to Meggs, back to Huffman, into the lane. He's going to be fouled by Haney.
That's Haney's third foul.
Anthony Albertini comes to the scorer's table. As Huffman goes the line to shoot two. First free throw is through there and good. As Marsh checks in for Meggs. 17 fouls on 17 fouls on each team. Huffman's second free throw. And that's going to be a foul on the Jets. And that's going to be a foul on Carter. He tried to get position, but he leaned underneath Bourne. So Bourne gets the layup to go, and he's going to go line to shoot the bonus. (21-7). Indians up by 14. Bourne trying to make it 15. Shot on its way and good. Carter set to put the ball in play for Jets. Feeds it into Fowler. Back to Carter. Carter across the timeline. Picked up out there by Pekka. Now he picks up his dribble. Gets it off to Marsh. Stolen by Bourne on a bad pass. Bourne pushes the ball back down the floor. Out to Doherty. Doherty tries to feed it back to Anthony Albertini, and Albertini thought it was to somebody else. Let it go. Out of bounds. Turnover on the Indians. Gives it back to the Jets as Meggs checks back into the game for Marsh. Carter with the basketball, guarded by Pekka. Gets past Pekka. Three-point shot on the way off the backboard. Too hard. Gets his own rebound again. Dribbles out of traffic. Looks in at Roby. Now cross-court pass stolen by Doherty. Doherty on Meggs. Loses it. Layup good, though. Good recovery by Doherty as he lost it for an instant. Brandon Doherty's got good hands.
Yes, he does.
Carter with the basketball. He showed that on the football field with his receiving skills as Lennon's Albertini, Adam Albertini, and Easton Dent all come to the scorers table.
We have a little shift rotation here at the end of the second quarter.
Pekka, Doherty. Who else come off? Bourne, maybe?
Yeah.
Bourne. Nope, Bourne's still on.
No,
there.
Grant Hutch.
Grant Hutcherson come off. So right now it's Dent, Bourne, Albertini, and Lemons, and Albertini. Adam and Anthony, senior and sophomore brothers, are on the floor. Same time here. Adam Albertini with the ball. Floater on the way. Off the back iron. No good. Rebound Meggs for the Jets. Feeds it off to Carter. Carter to Fowler. Fowler guarded by Dent. Gives it to Huffman. A little height advantage over Adam Albertini. Shot the rim. No good. Anthony with the rebound. Bourne feeds it off to Bourne. Bourne pushes it up the floor to the free throw line. Kicks it out to Adam Albertini. Shot on the way by him. Short. No good. Anthony Albertini with the rebound. Feeds it back to Adam. Now to the corner to Lemons. 20-footer on the way. No good. Way off. Now Lemons with the steal. Into the lane he goes. Feeds it to Albertini. Good for the layup. Meggs with the basketball, 26-7. As Meggs set to put the ball in play for the Jets, feeds it into Huffman, stolen by Albertini. Adam Albertini on the breakaway, all the way down, left-hand layup, good. Huffman feeds it in to Meggs, 28-7, 21-point lead for the Indians. Meggs hands it off to Fowler. There's a double dribble. There, they got it. Trying to run the weave and got
having trouble on the exchange on that weave. They get right in together with each other, hand it off, and that's where they run into trouble.
Bourne set to put the ball in play to Adam Albertini above the timeline. 2:08 left to go here in the first half. Indians lead 28-7. Bourne into the lane, kicks it out to Albertini. Albertini into Dent. Dent, good shot from the left-hand block. Jets full timeout. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. You listen to St. Paul Indian basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to Altoona Midway, where the Indian boys lead here, 32-7, with 1:37 left to go here in the first half. It'll be Jets basketball. Carter off to Huffman into Meggs. Shot blocked by Albertini, but he fouls him. He just ends up lead. Meggs' first free throw, short and no good.
Meggs shooting 2 of 4 from the free throw line so far in the first half.
Excuse me, he's going to be fouled by Anthony Albertini. Not a good job of blocking out by the Indians. Now Huffman's going to go to the line to shoot the 1-on-1. I think. I don't think it was on his shot.
Yep,
it's on the 1-on-1, so on the rebound. Huffman's at the line. The Indians 19 fouls. So the next foul puts the Jets in the double bonus. Huffman's shot on its way long. No good. Carter gets the rebound, but poked away by Adam Albertini. Pushes it down the floor. What a pass in between two Jets to Bourne, and he converts on the layup. Oh, well, that's what you call threading the needle.
Yeah, it was. Throwing into double coverage there.
You see that about right now on the live stream. You'll see what I'm talking about. Holy cow, what a pass right between a couple of Jets. Good shot, three-pointer by Carter. That's into that 34-10 lead. 24-point lead for the Indians. Now Albertini with the ball. Feeds it to Bourne. Three-pointer of his own. Off the rim, no good. Roby with the rebound.
St. Paul got nobody under the basket on those shots.
Bourne pokes it away from Meggs. feeds it off to Lemons. Lemons layup, good. Good hustle by Bourne. Knocking that ball away. 19 seconds left to go in the first half. Meggs with the basketball. Ball's on the floor. He picks it back up. Now he goes towards the rim. Man, he makes space for himself. He's going to call a travel. Could have called a push-off too, but tried to make a little room for himself. 11.6 left, 36-10. There's a little four-court token pressure by Meggs. Adam Albertini gets the ball, 9 seconds left. Off to Albertini. Albertini step back three-pointer, well off the mark. Adam Albertini. Anthony gets the rebound, feeds it to Lemons. No good on the putback. So stick around for our St. Paul Tire and Lube halftime show. Right after this 2-minute timeout, you're listening to St. Paul Indian basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to our St. Paul Tire and Lube halftime show. Dan Vitt alongside Mike McCracken. I'm glad to bring you tonight's game where the Indian boys lead here 36-10 at halftime. 26-point lead for the Indians. Pretty much been in control of this game from the start. The Lady Indians also come out with a nice victory here tonight. What do you think the first half, Mike?
Yeah, I think you're right. They're in control, but the other side of that is, they still struggled a little bit with their shooting. Just, they warmed up a little bit late there in the first half. But up to that point, it was kind of cold shooting again by the Indians. That's something that they're definitely going to have to work on and figure out a way to get some points on the board. I don't know, they've got some open shots. I guess another thing they could do maybe to improve their chances is get in and get some rebounds, because once they shoot the ball, it looks like they're not being able to get in there and block anyone out and get a lot of offensive rebounds for a second or even a third chance if they could get one. And, even Altoona on the other end has got some second shots, some follow-ups, been able to follow themselves in even from outside the three-point line. So they need to work a little bit on what they're doing underneath the basket, I think.
About 7 minutes left before we get to the second half. Styles Fitness, some more tip-off to the second half underway. Mike will have full first half stats right after this next timeout, brought to you by St. Paul's Supermarket. We'll be back after this next timeout. It'll be a 2-minute timeout. You're listening to St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back to this St. Paul Tire and Lube halftime show. Mike, what do you got for first half stats?
Well, first half stats for St. Paul, we got 36 points on the board. Not bad for the first half. At the beginning of the game, I said something about Coach Watrick maybe looking for something around above 40%, and they just barely did that from field goals. They ended up with 40%, shooting 41% for field goals. In the first half, they were 14 of 28. However, they're really struggling from outside the three-point line. Had 6 3-point shots and didn't make any of them in the first half, so that rounds out to 0% from outside the three-point land. Free throws a little better, 8 of 31%, and only 3 turnovers in the first half for St. Paul. So overall, playing decent enough to win or be ahead at least with a nice, comfortable lead, but still got some things to work on. Individually, for St. Paul, they were led by senior Brendan Doherty, who had 12 points in the first half. Braven Bourne with 9. Adam Albertini had 4 points, and so did Caleb Lemons in the first half. Caleb Pekka with 3 points in the first half, and Kenny Haney with 2 rounds out the scoring. Easton Den also put in 2 points for St. Paul off of the bench. Pretty good, playing in spots by St. Paul, able to make some things happen. They're still not able to get that offense set up and make it work quite like it should, I think, and that's one of the things here in the second half. I think they're going to have to work on their fundamentals. You mentioned that in the first half, that fundamental basketball is really the key, and that's one of the things we'll look for them in the second half to work on, moving around, keeping the ball moving on offense and not getting down there and having one shot and then having to go back on defense, try to follow it up and try to get a second or third shot while they've got the ball on their end of the floor.
I told you we'd work into Sub-State a little bit next week. We're going to go ahead and work into it a little bit tonight. Right now, St. Paul, as I said earlier, you get on that Keisha website, you can click on the athletics, then click on basketball, and on the right-hand side it'll say boys standing and girls standing, and then hit on whatever division you want to look at. I mean, if you want to look at boys, then you can go 6A clear through Division 1 and 2. And if you pull that up, right now on the girls' side, St. Paul leads as far as seeding. They come in at obviously 13 and 2, or that's up to date on this anyway. Chatopa's the second seed at 8 and 8. Leroy Southern Coffee County 7 and 9. Lebo's 4 and 11, and Marmonton Valley Moran is 3 and 13. So just 5 teams Sub-State held at St. Paul in the end of February there. So we look forward to that. I was just looking at the Drum versus Oswego on Tuesday night, and then Yates Center comes to town Friday night.
Yeah, and I think the Southern Coffee County game definitely be the key going into Sub-State as to who's going to end up.
Basketball on Hot 105. Welcome back as the second half is underway as Brendan Doherty. Indiana starts with the basketball. Brendan Doherty with the ball in his hand to the rim. Tries to give it back to Hutcherson. He's going to be fouled on the floor. So that'll be the first team foul in the second half on the Jets. We'll see who that is on.
The foul's on Carter. That's his second.
Second on Carter as Pekka set to put the ball in play for the Indians. Feeds it in to Albertini, Adam Albertini, who feeds it back to Doherty at the left wing. Cross-court pass. 3-point shot by Albertini. No good. Roby with the rebound for the Jets. Meggs pushes the ball back down the floor. Out to Roby. Over to Fowler. Fowler's shot on the way. No good. Doherty with the rebound.
I don't think Fowler was ready for that pass.
Doherty ahead to Bourne. Reverse layup. No good. Pekka fights for it. He gets shoved. No call. Meggs back down with the basketball. Cut off by Doherty. Crosses over. Now Pekka picks him up, and that's going to be a foul on Pekka. First foul of the second half on the Indians. And second on Caleb Pekka. Fowler set to put the ball in play. Feeds it back into Meggs. Meggs, ball over the back of his head, feeds it into Roby. Back to Fowler. Ball's on the floor for a minute. Fowler picks it up. And it's going to be a travel. Turnover against the Jets gives it back to the Indians. They lead 36-10. Bourne with the basketball. Feeds it off to Doherty. Doherty in. Almost poked away. It is by Doherty, or Bourne. Bourne feeds it to Pekka. Off to Doherty. Doherty misses the shot. And it's going to be a foul on Altoona as Faller's a little bit nicked up with a little ankle injury. Replaces him. Pekka. Bourne to Hutcherson. Back to Bourne. Off to Bourne. Bourne's shot no good. Putback no good. Pekka with putback no good. Doherty gets the rebound. He's going to be pushed out of bounds, so it's going to be a foul on the Jets. And it'll stay with the Indians. That foul is going to be the third team foul on the Jets. Albertini three-point shot well short. Doherty with the rebound. Putback no good, but he's fouled. Doherty goes to the line to shoot two.
It's going to be on Carter. That's number 3 on Carter.
Doherty settles into the line to shoot two. First shot on its way and right through there and good. As he goes to the line for his second. Settles in and it's off, no good. Rebound Huffman for the Jets. Roby into the lane. Bounce pass back out to Carter. Guarded by Pekka. Couple ball fakes against Pekka. Dribbles out above the timeline. Bertini with the rebound. Feeds it to Bourne. Bourne to Doherty. Doherty's reverse layup. Good. Pretty athletic move by Brendan Doherty.
Pretty good move right there.
Stay under control and get that to go on the reverse. 41-10. 31-point lead for the Indians. Marsh with the basketball over his head. Feeds it to Faller. Layup good. Pekka against Meggs. Feeds it out to Bourne. Bourne three-point shot. Long. No good. Rebound Anthony Albertini. Feeds it back into Doherty. Doherty a couple crossovers. Feed it to Albertini. Shot from the free throw lane. Short. Hutcherson chases down the rebound. Tips it back into Doherty. Into Pekka. Left-hand layup. Good.
A lot better job getting some rebounds there by St. Paul.
Good hustle by Grant Hutcherson, saving that ball inbounds to Doherty to keep that alive. And that's going to be a foul on Pekka. That's going to be his third, isn't it?
Yep.
Caleb Pekka's third, team foul number 3 on the Indians. 4:06 left to go here in the third. 43-12, Indians up by 31. Feeding the backcourt to Meggs. Found Marsh, and it's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow stays with the Jets. Meggs set to put the ball in play for the Jets. As he's still
a lot of minutes tonight.
Marsh settles into the line to shoot two for the Jets. Indians lead 43-12. First shot is right through there. .342 left to go in the third. Indians lead 43-13. As the second shot is well short. Goes back to the Indians. Indians have yet to hit a three-pointer tonight, right?
No, that's right.
So they're shooting.
They've shot a lot, just haven't been able to hit any of them. Timeout.
Shooting woes continue from the outside. 30-second timeout. Coach Wadrick. In the third quarter. Right now it's Pekka, Doherty, Bourne, Albertini, Anthony Albertini, and Grant Hutcherson on the floor for the Indians. Bourne to Pekka, back to Bourne. That timeout brought to you by St. Paul's Supermarket for all your grocery needs. visit St. Paul Supermarket right there in St. Paul, Kansas. Bourne with the basketball. Feeds it to Pekka. Pekka over to Doherty. Indians run their motion offense. Ended Bourne. Left-hand layup, no good. Just short. As Meggs comes down the court with the basketball. There's a foul on the floor.
You call that on Caleb Pekka.
His fourth.
That's his fourth, you're right.
Team foul number 4 on the Indians. Pekka picks up his fourth foul as Haney, Hutcherson, Adam Albertini, Easton Dent, and Caleb Lemons on the floor. Indians. Three-point shot on the way by Fowler. Off, no good. Tapped around, controlled by Dent. Dent pushes ahead to Albertini. Albertini's layup, good. 45-13, 32-point lead, 2:29 left to go in the third. Meggs over to Fowler. Fowler gives it to Carter. Carter's turnaround shot off the backboard, good. Good shot by Carter on the turnaround. Now Lemon streaks back down the floor, off to Albertini. Three-point shot by him, off the rim, no good. Rebound, Roby feeds it back to Meggs. 2 minutes left to go in the third. 45-15 is the Indian lead. Feed to Fowler inside to Carter, and he's going to be fouled by Lemons. So Carter's going to go to the line to shoot 2. .151 left to go here in the third quarter. Carter settles in at the line. First shot on its way is right through there. As sub into the game for the Indians. That is Chandler Bradshaw into the game for the first time tonight. Second free throw's off, no good. Haney with the rebound. Haney's in for Hutcherson. Now right down to Bradshaw. Layup good. Chandler Bradshaw with the score on the good pass from Haney. 47-16. Meggs cuts to the basket. Layup no good. Rebound Haney. Haney feeds it ahead to Anthony Albertini. Albertini in traffic somehow gets a circus shot to go. (49-16), 33-point lead. 1:15 left to go in the third. Couple cutters go by. Now Fowler with a jump shot, no good. Haney with another rebound. Haney pushes the ball down past Meggs all the way in, flips it out to Dent.
I think you call Haney? Yep.
Yeah, they're going to call Haney after the pass.
Haney's fourth foul as well now.
Haney looks around like, that was on me. Carter ended up on the floor, but I didn't really see how.
I didn't see the contact.
You guys on the live stream can probably see that better than we can. Meggs with the basketball. 55 seconds left to go here in the third. Adam Albertini pokes it away. Comes up with the steal. Feeds it to Bradshaw. Bradshaw's layup. Good. (51-16). Indians lead. Huffman all the way to the rim. Shot no good. Haney with another rebound. Haney's racking up the rebounds in this quarter. Haney all the way down. Tries to feed it to Bradshaw. Stolen away by Fowler. Now back to Carter with 23 seconds left to go in the game. Off to the corner to Marsh. Marsh tries to feed to Meggs. What did I say?
You said in the game, and that's okay.
I'm sorry. Third quarter, 12 seconds left. Adam Albertini shot no good. Huffman with the basketball. Got away with a travel all the way towards the rim. Layup good. And after 3 quarters, 51-18, Indians lead. We'll be back after this 1-minute timeout. Here's St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. Now, welcome back. Start of the fourth quarter. The Indians with the basketball. They lead 51-18. Doherty with the basketball. Turnaround jump shot, no good. Huffman with the rebound for the Jets. And that's going to be out of bounds off the Jets.
Step on the line, I think.
It goes back to the Indians. 7:22 left to go in the game. Cross-court pass over to Lemons on the inbounds. Doherty, spin move into the lane. No good on the shot, but he's fouled.
Is it going to be on Roby?
He's going to shoot two. Is Doherty frustrated with himself, missing that layup?
Oh, it's on Carter. It's his fourth foul.
His fourth foul. Up to the line. It's on its way and off the back rim. No good. Gets his own rebound. Loses it out of bounds. Poked out there by Meggs. Is Pekka going to put the ball in? Good. Finally, somebody hits a shot from the outside.
Right.
That's the first three-pointer.
First one of the game.
Meggs right back down the floor with the basketball. Feeds it back. Stolen by Pekka. Pekka's layup, good. Feed into Meggs. Hutcherson, Dent, Adam Albertini, Kenny Haney, and Chandler Bradshaw coming up call over to Bourne. Another three-pointer on the way. In and out, no good. Anthony Albertini with the rebound. Feeds it to Lemons. Lemons to the rim. Tries to feed it to Pekka. Now gets for the Indians. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout with St. Paul basketball on Hot 105. It's going to be a travel on Carter. And give it back to the Indians. 4:41 left to go in the game, 59-21. The Indians lead. Off to Haney at left wing. Haney gets it poked away by Meggs. Meggs back down to the basketball, feeds to Carter, three-point shot. Good.
Third three-pointer of the game by Carter.
59-24 off to Hutcherson. Layup good. 61-24. The Indians lead. Carter with the basketball. Bradshaw comes in for Chandler. And Hayden comes in for Kenny Haney. So right now it's Dent, Hutcherson, Adam Albertini, Chase Bradshaw, and Hayden Smith in the game. 1-1 for Carter. Free throw is good. That foul is on Hutcherson. 8th team foul on the Indians. 3:15 left to go in the game as Carter settles in for his second. It's a Carter, another three-pointer, top of the key, off this time, gets his own rebound. Hutcherson makes him alter his shot, and it's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow stays with the Jets. Cotton is fouled by Smith, and he'll go to the line and try to complete the three-point play. Yeah, for you a little bit too. So we got all sophomores on the floor. Let's see, we're getting subs in as we just took a change time out here for the subs to come in. And boy, this is going to be hard for me, Mike, all of a sudden.
You get your work cut out for you now.
Bauer into the game for the Jets, as well as Fowler, as well as Roby is still in the game. Sade and Daniels in the game. Roby with the basketball, guarded by Dent. is now for the Indians. It's Lemon, Smith, Bradshaw, and Dent. Still all sophomores. Roby with it. Tries to drive in the lane, cut off by
3
Dent.
seconds at some point.
Fowler. Roby turnaround shot, no good. Rebound, Bradshaw. Bradshaw feeds it ahead to Dent. Dent to Bradshaw. Good pass.